Yep.
Okay, awesome. Cool. Alright, what's happening, plebs? We're really out here with our YCS Origins recap slash, I don't know, yeah, recap, I guess we'll call it. So, we'll be here for about an hour or so, discussing, the event as a whole, talking about our players' deck lists and stuff. So, everything should be up on screen for you right now. First and foremost, I'm joined by Mr. Aaron Furman, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
I'm Aaron Furman. I'm 21, and yeah, I don't know. What else am I supposed to introduce?
What place did you get?
I got second at YCS Origins to Jake Feeney
Nice.
with Demise Cosmos.
Cosmo Demise, cool.
Yeah.
Next up, Mr. Alex Space Lolly. Would you like to throw it down?
Yeah, what it is, you know who it is. I lost in top 8 to Jake as well. So this is pretty much just like the Jake Finney Losers Club.
Yeah.
And Josh. So yeah, no, that was me. I played Burning Abyss, Phantom Knight for YCS Origin, and it was dope. It was a cool deck. So
Awesome, cool. And I'm joined here by my co-host from Complexity Card Gaming, Joshua Schmidt. So nice to have you here. So we'll just go through, I guess, simply chronologically through the event. Starting, I guess before the event. So I guess a question to both of you starting off, right? So, I mean, I had Alex on in the stream before, and you were super into Timid's deck from Providence. Was that like your plan going into this event? Like, did you always know you were going to play this deck, or?
So my plan for Origins was I was going to summon a Decatron, and then I was going to banish for the level 1, and then I was going to make Grigoya Defender. And so Friday of the event, I'm still playing this damn deck, and I'm playing in the Giant card, and I'll activate Maxi, I'll activate Effect Veiler, and I'm just like, wow, that like really sucks. This deck is garbage. So it's not that bad, but like it's pretty much like a Burning Abyss deck, but worse. So I was like, yeah, I think I'll just play Burning Abyss because they do relatively like the same thing, and so Friday of I'm like trying to put together this deck, and shout out to Max Reynolds again for letting me borrow like the whole thing because I literally had like 0 cards from the archetype. So yeah, it was like a really like super last minute decision. So, but yeah, no, as you know, I really liked this deck. Thought it was really good. I thought it was super streamlined. I thought Fogblade was really good right now because Monarch was like the deck to beat. So yeah, I mean that was pretty much my reasoning going into it.
Oh, fair enough. Aaron, you played something completely different. What was your reasoning for picking this deck?
So I got to the event Thursday, and I entered the Giant card Thursday because they did like the Wednesday to Sunday for Yu-Gi-Oh! And I played Demise Cosmos that day, and I end up losing like the very first round. I get like smashed by a Pendulum deck, so I'm kind of just on the like whole thing like maybe this deck isn't right because I played at Providence 2 weeks before, like the exact same list as McCabe, and I end up going. Yeah, I go X1 day 1, and I lose the back 2, but McCabe and Frazier end up topping with the deck, so deck was still really good. So then Friday I played in Giant card again, and I played like Cosmos with trap cards, just like I played like 3 Cosmos. I played no counter traps. I played 3 breakthrough skills, Allure Darkness. I didn't play Demise or anything, and I end up losing to Johnny Nagel in that event. I don't know when, maybe top 8 or top 4. And I just thought like Cosmos was just doing well. Then I talked to McCabe again the night before, and he was just like really pushing the deck. And James Chow was also testing with it for like a week and a half. So he had like some ideas of the deck, and I just ended up playing with that deck for the event, and that's how I got to the deck, I guess.
That's fair enough. So, you have your deck choices for this event like laid out there, but it's like kind of interesting because you have a YCS so close to a nationals, right? And obviously a lot of people will be saving ideas and stuff like that. So like, was there like a bit of a dilemma of sorts, like going into this event? Like, do I play like, you know, my main thing that I'm considering for nationals, or, you know, is this like, did you just play like what you thought would just be like the best at the time, or is there always, you know, obviously that nationals thing in mind?
Um, Nationals is like 2.5 weeks away, and there's two other decks I really want to try, like just pure BA and Monarchs again. But I just felt like playing card demise like Cosmos, like still not that many people played against it, or like played that many cards like destroy back rows, or they'll just only have Twin Twister in their deck. I just still felt like it was really strong. It was still like not many people played it. I think like one other person got top cut with it, and I play against one Cosmo the whole event, so I didn't feel like that many people were playing Cosmo still, and I don't know, they just kind of gave up on it.
Mm, fair enough. Alex, am I safe to assume that this is just, you know, literally just a last minute thing, and you've got your own thing going on for like 2 weeks from now?
Kind of. It was more like so before each event, I kind of like metagame for it. So the trend leading up to it was just a matter of perceiving the trend moving up to Columbus. So I played at ARG St. Louis. See, like you guys hear about all the events I do a lot. You guys don't hear about all the events I scrub at, which is like infinite. So so like St. Louis, an ARG, a 3-round ARG. Let me emphasize. For the people who topped, I was not one of them. I played the Demise Cosmo deck too, and you know, I played like I literally just, I think I net decked Marcella like 110%, and so I played that deck and I fucking crashed and burned. And before that, I was testing a lot with Monarch, and before that, I was like playing a lot with the Pendulum deck because everyone like our group is kind of playing Pendulum. And what I noticed, like the big trends were that okay, so BA like smashed Providence, so everyone started minting hand traps, and then also in Providence, like Frazier topped, and I don't really remember if Sean topped, but
He did.
yeah. So Frazier and Sean topped, and so then there was a big trend of demise decks and hand like Burning Abyss. So it created like a paradox in the format where you'd have like people maining hand traps, and then you'd also need to like main like back row removal for the demise decks. And I was just thinking, you know, what are people like really playing right now? Well, a lot of people are really like on Monarch right now, so I thought Effect Veiler, like as you can see in my deck, I'm like looking at it right here. There are only 2 Maxi and 3 Veiler. The reason why I thought going into it with BA was really good, and that's why I just didn't like the deck I played could possibly be like a deck I'd play at Nationals too. But it was just a matter of like what other people were playing leading up to this event. Like everyone was playing Monarch, so Veiler was really good. Maxi, I felt like a lot of people weren't playing the Fire King Cosmo deck, which is why I really wanted Maxi. I felt like more people, if they were playing Cosmo, were playing like the Demise build. So there aren't as many copies of Maxi in here. So I just kind of like, even though it was like a last minute kind of thing, I kind of like metagamed for it to where I kind of had a clear cut direction of what cards I wanted to play. And 2 weeks from now, I'm sure, because it like Columbus format and Nationals format, even though it's like the same list, I think the trending decks will be different. So like maybe after this event, Burning Abyss, like I think this was definitely Burning Abyss's deck to like really break out into, because now like it's won two American like YCS back to back. And so, like, if you aren't prepared for it at this point, like, if you don't really see it coming, then I don't know, like, then it's, like, pure ignorance at this point. So a lot of people are going to be prepared for it. And so I think the trend will be, like, you see 3 Veiler in my main deck now. I think, like, you could see, like, 3 Maxi now going into the deck, because you'll expect a lot more Burning Abyss. I played against, like, so I was my record in Swiss was X1-1, and after day 1 I was XO1, meaning I was playing, like, at top tables, and the top tables was literally, like, Burning Abyss, Burning Abyss, Burning Abyss, Burning Abyss, like Cosmo, Burning Abyss, Monarch, Burning Abyss, Cordero, Burning Abyss. So like, yeah, I don't know what, like, shout out to the HBIC, I guess. So like, I don't know. I think a lot of people will be like, maining Max again. They'll be a lot more Pendulum maybe will resurge because Kieran just dominant. Like I think a contribution to why I ran so far into this event is because I played 0 Pendulum. Like I feel like if I played against more Pendulum, it would have been like a lot more difficult of an event because Kieran is just so strong. Like Pendulum is like a really, really scary deck. So I mean, who knows what Nationals will be? But I didn't really like, oh, I'm gonna hide this. You know what I mean? Sorry, I'm like kind of long-winded, but that's essentially the reason.
Yeah.
There was no real hidden tricks or anything. It was just I thought the deck was good.
Josh, what do you think about the meta game that was like came up in Top Cut of the YCS? Because for me personally, I was so shocked to see like a quarter of the Top Cut spots were taken by Burning Abyss. Was that like, did that shock you at all? Yeah, it was like 8 Top Cuts, 8 spots. It was a quarter Burning Abyss and a quarter Monarch.
Yeah, no, I did expect that quite a bit. I didn't expect many Fire King Cosmos to do well. I don't know if they did, but like what was the exact
Top Cut
split?
There was one Fire King Cosmo in Top Cut, one Magispector, one Burning Abyss Monarch, a quarter Monarch, quarter BA, and the rest was like Cosmo and Pendulum mixes.
Yeah, no, I feel like that's pretty expected. Like Burning Abyss is that like kind of consistent choice that you can like play throughout the whole format. You can like tech it really well with the number of like Twin Twisters and hand traps and stuff. You can like vary the pure version to the Phantom Knight version depending on the matchups. I think it's one of the decks that you always like expect to do well, and I think it's kind of interesting that no Demise deck topped besides I think the Cosmo Demise and the other.
Yeah, I don't think any clue topped, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, nothing like that. But so. Like I don't think that's surprising because I don't think the deck's that strong. I think Demise anti-meta decks were pretty overhyped for the most part. Because it's just like any anti-meta deck in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's just worse than the other decks. You're just going to lose to good players who know how to play around background.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to draw Demise, your deck's just going to be terrible.
So, Aaron, you took this Cosmo build here, and just looking at it from like having it up on screen here, it's pretty obvious that you were very, very afraid of Monarchs coming into this matchup, coming into this event.
Yeah, I thought I was going to play a lot more Monarchs than I did. I ended up only playing 2 the whole event, then like 9 PK, then 1 actual BA.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So just looking at your site here, you played things like Chaos Hunter. How was that for you?
Against the one Cosmo guy I did play against, it was great. He ends up like having it works out because he does like the Banish Pilot, Special Dark Destroyer, target itself. I have Chaos Hunter for it, but he has the Call the Haunted for a turn after. But I start like getting back advantage, and he system downs me like later in the game. I just called on it back and stopped the system down, and it was just game over at that point.
Yeah. Yes, that's pretty much, I guess, that I could really say about your build. I mean, you played over...
What made you play 41?
Yeah,
like, why didn't
that's
you
exactly what I was going to ask.
Breakthrough skill or a lady or something? Like, what makes you...
Waiting for this.
Well,
I was waiting for this question.
It was like I was gonna cut a strike because I felt like that card's not that good against Monarchs or PK, but I don't know. Like I usually just run 41 at a lot of events. I only have one top that's not 41 cards, and I don't know. It's just like a good luck thing. I felt like every card was necessary, but other people like argue different, and I don't know. It's just like people's play styles, I guess. Like I don't know. I sided out like I could have easily cut a strike. I sided out the counter traps almost every single time. Like they were for sure the weakest part of my whole deck. So I was at least siding like 3 or 4 of them out per matchup.
Okay.
But
so I got a story. It's a quick story time, real quick.
Hey, good story time. We love this.
Let me just tell you how broken literally broken Furman is with 41 cards. Like, it is great. There is, like, you may think, like, oh, yeah, you know, whatever, he's playing 41. God, nice deck, you know? No, Furman is insane with 41. So, this is ARG Atlantic City when Duelist Alliance, like, just came out. And it's me, Tamid, Corey Roca somehow, and Furman.
Somehow.
We're all hanging out at Furman's place. And we're having a good time. We're play testing, you know, whatever. We're gonna play Satel, and we're playing this cool streamlined version. I'm like thinking about it. It's like making me laugh. We're playing this really good version, you know, upstarts like duality, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And Furman's like going through comments or something, I guess, and he's just like, "Hey, let's all play Battle Guard Howling and just play 41." And
with
I was
upstart.
like, absolutely not. Yeah. Oh no. He cut the upstart. Don't worry. It's Furman.
Of course, that'd be stupid.
It's not Cordero. Like, let's be real. So he's just like, let's all do it. And I'm like, absolutely not. And I'm pretty sure Tamid said the same. And so we go to the event. And okay, so long story short, Furman wins the event. With this 41 card Battle Guard Howling deck, and that's what I knew. Like, oh, man,
Okay,
that's what I
like-
knew. You can't deny Furman's 41 choice.
All right, so I was always playing 41 just because like 41's always just a lucky number, and everyone was playing 3D prisons. I was only playing 2, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna play 3D prison as my 41st card. But I didn't feel like looking for the card. I didn't feel like going asking people for the card. So I just threw Battle Guard Howling in my deck, and it ends up winning me like 2 matches basically. So
Was that just one
but it
Howling?
got sided out every time.
Was that just one Howling you played?
Yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah.
That's the kind of card that I'm gonna die to because I have no idea what it does.
Oh, it's like Compulse when you declare an attack, so it bounces all the Shaddoll monsters. That's what it was used for. When you control a warrior or something like that.
Yeah, or if it's targeted by a monster. Like the 2 times it was it wasn't even attacked. It was like High Priestess Prophecy, like target pop. I activated burn him for 25, and the other time it was against Calvin Tahan. He just special summons Chaos Sorcerer, banishes my ulti. Like he wastes a Veiler a turn before to summon this Chaos Sorcerer. I just bounce it to his hand and burn for 23, and
Burn
he
for
just
23.
can't use it.
I forgot it burned as well.
Yeah, nice deck, Calvin.
Yo, do you guys remember that time Lolly summoned 3 priestess in one turn into like 2 different back row? That was quality. I think we've lost Aaron, by the way. Aaron, you there? Oh shit.
No, he like froze on my screen. I think there's a better play that. Oh yeah, no, ever since that there have been 2 plays in my duelist career that have definitely just outshined that. One of them was this weekend though, so that was cool. It was in top 8 actually, where I get
Can you guys
cherries
hear me?
game 2.
Yeah, we got you back.
Okay, my bad.
It was so keep in mind, Jake was just making me feel the chill. I play him in Swiss, and he cherries me. He cherries me game 3, and I lose. So I lost to him in Swiss. He's my like 1 loss, and then in Top Cut, I lose to him again because game 2 he cherries me again, and I'm like, damn. But I somehow put him at 29, and then I like kill him. So that was, but the way I did it was really cool because I only had like 1 Burning Abyss in my grave, and I needed to get to like Barbar, so I just started like specialing Burning Abyss monsters out of my hand, and they were all dying, so I was kind of like fucking with them. I was like, yeah, I'll special a Burning Abyss, and I started doing things. He's like, it dies, and I'm like, God, yeah, you're right, you know. Meanwhile, I like got his ass, you know. I didn't really get his ass. I think he knew I was up to something though, so I think that was the one play that made overshadow Triple Priestess or whatever.
The plays, man. So, I guess we can talk a little bit about your notable matchups and games of the day. I guess we talked a little bit about your builds and stuff. Aaron, you want to give us some story time for any notable matchups and fun times you had at the YCS?
Round 10, I played
Yes, I like this. I like this story already.
So I don't really remember. Do I win game 1?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I win game 1, then just like later on in the game, like game 2, I joke about like, oh, you want Levier, like my tin can to your side of the board, and he ends up like winning that game. Game 3, when he's about to go for game, he's like, I'll make Levier take your tin can, then overlay Levier for like F0 attack, like just attack for game, and I don't know, I thought that was funny of him because of the irony.
Well, you actually did Levier the tin can. No
Yeah,
Cosmo
There was like a
handling
reason for it though. I think I don't remember.
there was no reason.
It was like,
What's the reason for
like,
that?
it was like, what if I didn't have game and I didn't want you because I like what if I didn't have game and I didn't want you to add tin can off town? I think was
Of
like
course,
my
of
logic,
course.
Yeah, sure, man.
Top cut.
I guess like I didn't, throughout Swiss I didn't really draw demise much. I like basically won just by like just summoning Pilot Dark Destroyer and like doing the Strawman Tin Can play and just having like 2-3 back row. When I did draw in Swiss, I had one card left in hand and it was a Tin Can. I draw it and I draw into Call the Haunted, Oasis, Chaos Trapple, and like I basically just won the like I had my comeback right there. I won the game.
Wow. Wow.
I got a tie round, I want to say 7 because like game 1 took like 33 minutes because I just felt like he kept giving me like chances to come back, and I felt like that happened a lot of matches that like took a while. Like your opponent just doesn't really know how to play their deck, and they're just giving you like chance after chance after chance to like let you get back in the game. And I ended up losing game 1, and it just sucked because like there was like 5 minutes left on the clock, and I basically at this point have to try and tie because a game I thought I could win, he just ends up like drawing his outs to it.
Damn.
I got very lucky. I got 32nd place.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. And you got set, and then you
Yeah.
came second after all. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, my losses were to the Colin Reardon, who got 2nd after Swiss, and Lolly, who got 6th after Swiss. And the guy who tied was also X2 and 1. And I don't know what place he got, but I got very lucky. Throughout Top Cut, I did draw Tin Can Demise and like multiple back row, probably like 5 games, so that was also very nice.
What were your matchups in
I-
Top Cut?
All PK Fire except 1 Pendulum in top 4.
Oh, right, cool. Wow.
Yeah.
So, Alex, what about you? Any notable events that took place for you throughout the weekend?
Yes. Oh, someone tried to. So before I dive into like another nice story, I played against Zero Pendulum. I played against like earlier on in the tournament. I played against Cosmo Monarch, and then as the tournament later and later into the tournament, it was like a lot more like Burning Abyss. Burning Abyss Phantom Knight variants. I don't think I played against any other, like, there was no like rogue decks, no demise decks. I consider myself really lucky that I didn't play against any demise decks. I feel like if you don't draw a Twister, Burning Abyss has the hardest time against like those kind of floodgates and like navigating around them. So I kind of don't like leaving things like chance like that where I have to draw a certain card, otherwise I just lose on the spot. So it was all Burning Abyss, Monarch, Cosmo. Burning Abyss is real. Oh, and then BA Monarch. That deck was just the most annoying deck ever. Nice guy too, so it was like weird, but so I mean you can see that. You can check me out on stream. 3 hours 5 minutes, second broadcast. I dab and I flex and I wink. Was good. And
Where was that guy
from? He was from United Kingdom somewhere. He told me, but I can't remember where. But he told me exactly where too, and I just forgot. But somewhere in the UK.
Darren Stevenson, yeah. He went up with the BA Monarch, and somehow nobody even knew he was in America. I don't know anyone in the UK who knew. Just one day, like one of our boys shows up, like suddenly he's on stream. It was crazy.
Yeah,
Oh, this
he
stuff
he
Zach never
said he.
burned.
Yeah, it's really weird. It was like, so at least what he did to me. So this is all I know. Sitting across from it, he would go like, uh, he would go special burning abyss, make like Dante, milk pantheism, activate
That's the plan.
pantheism. Yeah, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, like summon Karaz, pop Prime, activate Prime, like end off with like two Beatrice and an Erebus or like an Aether in hand or something ridiculous. And so like it was like a 35 to 40 minute game one because it was like a 37-minute game one because I'm literally sitting there like, God, I have to play around like every fucking card. Like I have to play around Aether, Beatrice, Prime, and any hand trap you could possibly have because I don't know that. So that's like five, a total like 5 cards. Oh, and Stormforth. Sorry, excuse me, 6. So it was literally just the worst. But he was a cool guy, I guess. So thank God for. I don't know. I feel like I opened pretty strong game 3, so I think even if we didn't go to time, I probably would have won anyway. But yeah, so notable rounds outside of that. Yeah, everything I played was like super generic, but there was one guy I played who literally just here's my deck. All right, I'll shuffle it. Staring at it, nice. Thanks for looking at it. I will final cut. And he laughs at me and he goes, okay. And I don't like even it out before he like puts his hands on it, but he puts his grimy ass hands, cuts in the same spot, and I look at him dead in the eye, and I'm like, "Did you just cut in the same spot?" And he goes, "Ha ha ha, hell yeah!" So I call it.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, judge is like, "What's going on?" I tell him the story, and he looks at me like almost in disbelief, but I think he misinterprets because he thinks I'm saying, do I get the last cut? And he's like, your opponent gets the last cut. And I'm like, okay, I got that. But he cut in the same spot. And he's like, I didn't. And I'm like, he said he did. I didn't. So I'm like, this dude's lying. He's like, I ain't lying, and so good thing I have Calvin, best in the world, to Han sitting next to me, breathing, because he lets the judge know, and the judge is like, well, there's nothing I can do about it, just don't let it happen. And I'm like, oh, okay, great. So the rest of the game, this guy is on edge, and of course I win because he can't cheat, so he can't win. And I guess that was the one notable round, but yeah, that was really the only situation. The deck was and then in top 32, I got a game loss because my deck should actually be 41 cards as well. I played a Cal Cab and I forgot to write it, and they made me take it out. So. All through Swiss, I was playing a Cal Cab, and then in Top Cut, I couldn't play Cal Cab. So, yeah, I mean, I got a game loss in Top 32, and I come back, and I win, and that was nice. Thank God for Brilliant Fusion breaking the Monarch deck.
Nice.
So, that was pretty much it.
All right. Let's see. Josh, do you have anything you want to add? I'm going to move on to questions now. So people in the stream chat, please, if you can throw some questions out here at our boys, you should have their builds up. Yeah, their builds. A lot of you probably would have followed the stream, so ask anything you want, and hopefully they'll be able to answer for you. So, Josh, anything to add?
I mean, I don't have any stories. I wasn't there. Like, I haven't played a tournament since I know. Like,
yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty cool and stuff. Last thing I wanted to just really quickly go over is, how is this going to affect your nationals and, obviously I would say our Euros, but I mean, we have your nationals first for a week and then our Euros, so that's going to be even more different for us in Europe. So sucks for us, but yeah. So how do you guys think like this is going to be like different for you guys like come nationals? Do you still expect to play like the exact same meta pretty much? Or, do you think it's going to be something different?
Don't we get the structure? I think we get the structure before nationals.
I think Europeans do,
yeah.
but not Americans.
So,
I'm not sure.
I honestly don't know. If we do, I guess we can play Gospel, and I guess like we can play some sort of Blue Eyes deck with that.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't think the format's like. I feel like people are gonna shift decks like every single tournament. People just shift decks. Like for sure, this event it was PK Fire. I felt like Province was very much Monarchs. So I don't know what this event could be. I was gonna start testing tomorrow, and I'm like done all my schoolwork and everything.
That's fair enough. Alex, what do you think it's gonna do for nationals?
So I think the trending deck. So going into Providence, I agree. Like the Monarch deck was huge. Going into this event, Columbus Origins, I thought Burning Abyss was going to be quite popular. Hence why I made hand traps rather than like anti-spell or whatever Bowden recommended. He sucks. Just kidding.
Shout out to Brady Bunch.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to the boys. So yeah, I think this like nationals will be, or our nationals at least, will be like a lot of pendulum, because I think a lot of people will be expecting Burning Abyss significantly more now based on its results through Origins, and Kieran is ridiculous, and that card scares the hell out of me. And I think it'll be like a lot of pendulum, and I think maybe Cosmo may have a resurgence just based on its results recently. You know, it's still like it still shows up in Top Cut via like even if we consider just the United States' influence, based on like Zach Leverett showing at that ARG, that 3-round ARG, based on Furman at this YCS, and based on like Frazier and Sean at YCS Providence. I think Cosmo, especially Demise Cosmo, will still see a fair amount of showing, but I think it'll be very pendulum heavy. I think people will still try and play Monarch, and I think for the people who are trying to play Burning Abyss, like it's gonna be a much tougher event. I feel like, because people are a lot more prepped for it. So as for what I'm gonna do, not 100. Yeah, you know what? Scratch that. I'm 100% sure I'm gonna be the HBIC for nationals. That deck is insane. The Demise Magispector deck or whatever. I just wouldn't play 42 cards in an Upstart Goblin. Sorry, Cordero. Not sorry, but yeah, like I think that deck is crazy. Like there's that card called Pendulum Reborn. Damn, that card is good with Magispector. I didn't even know that card existed. Like, what a cool interaction, and it's chainable.
I never heard of it. What is it?
Like, it's like it's just like a normal trap, and it's like special summon a Pendulum monster that's face up in your extra deck or from your graveyard. So like it's actually like you can actually conveniently get out Kieran that way, because the deck has no high scales except for Eccentric, and then it plays around like Strike and Warning, because if they like strike, that's like the general out to Magispector cards. So if they like strike your Magispector, then you could just like bring it back, and then you could trigger the effect.
Interesting.
Like plays around those cards. You can use it in there.
How does it even get Kieran to extra deck if it can't really pendulum it? You
tribute summon for it.
Then how does it go to extra deck then?
If they like kill it, or no, if you tribute summon for it, and then you like tribute it for like a trap, like so you tribute summon for it, and then you like bounce like Banbuku back, and then you tribute it for a trap or something if you don't tribute the other guy. Because I don't know, like I feel like if I had the other trap, then I would probably put the guy who can just normal summon back in my hand, and then I like flip the trap and then get the Kieran back. So
this doesn't sound very good, Alex. I'm not gonna lie.
Sounds like a lot of tribute summons in a pendulum deck.
It is one tribute summon monster. So here's how Jake Finney beats that deck. He plays one Kieran, so he tribute summons. I'll tribute for Kieran. Yeah, I activate Solemn Warning, and then that's the match. So, so I mean, yeah, no. I think that deck is crazy though. That deck is horrifying. I'm like sweating as I'm like talking about it. Like it's like giving me like goosebumps. So
nice.
Yeah, that deck. I think that deck is good. But in all seriousness, I think Pendulum is like really good right now. So I think that's what we'll see a lot of in our nationals.
All right, awesome. Josh, you want to give them some advice or something like that from from the EU going into their nationals while I pick out some questions here?
Well, I don't think that builds are necessarily going to change much. I think the format has been like so long that people are not going to change their Monarch builds anymore. They're not going to change their Cosmo builds anymore. It's mostly going to be like 2 or 3 card choices, I think. The rest is pretty stale at the moment. And I do agree that Burning Abyss is probably not going to be the best choice. It's never been the best choice for me, but like even worse now that people are going to prepare for it, and Pendulum is definitely going to be played a little bit more. since it did have some pretty good showings, right? It top 4 the YCS as well, right?
Yeah, I got a few top cut
50%
spots.
50% of the top 4 was Pendulum. So
It's pretty weird though. It's all different builds, right? It's not even necessarily Kirin
Yeah.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like there was, I saw one deck profile where he was like siding Kirin, so I turned off the profile. But yeah, something like that.
shout out to Scott.
Yeah, I mean, like if you're gonna play Pendulum, you're gonna play Kirin, right? Otherwise, there's just no point to play Pendulum.
It's it was like 2 main builds. Like there was more Odd Eyes heavy variant, and then there was like a more Draco engine variant heavy one.
Yeah.
So like, it feels like siding Kirin is just like siding Tin Can or something like that. It's just stupid.
Yeah. So Furman, someone here asking you, why did you miss playing the final with the Taki Tomborg and Trout? We actually talked about this before we started streaming, but if you wanna like repeat that.
Alright, so
Why
like
did you not want to win?
I wasn't expecting to even go as far as I did with the deck. Like the deck is very, I don't want to say gimmicky, but I don't know. Like it's very weird playing the deck, and I got very lucky with it. Like multiple times, like the hands I drew and to where it was, and it was just like I didn't get much sleep the day before. Like going into Saturday, I only got like 4 hours of sleep. Then going into Sunday, I only got like 5 hours of sleep. So I was like really tired, and to getting to like at that point, I wasn't expecting it. It was just very surreal, and I was just playing cards. I wasn't really thinking, and I should have just like maybe slowed down and thought about it, because like I could have won game 2 and 3, which really sucks. Like even thinking of like you think about now, but it's not the most important tournament of the year, so I have that looking forward to in a couple of weeks, and hopefully I'll do better there. And
Yeah, that's fair enough.
yeah.
How do you guys think that Blue Eyes will fare with Alternative in the future? So this is obviously looking a little bit past national season, because Alternative isn't out to the movie pack.
So with Alternative.
Yeah, with Alternative.
When we get it after Euro, even, right?
I haven't read what Alternative does.
It's good.
Standards.
I don't remember exactly what it does, but it's good.
I think it's like reveal a Blue Eyes in your hand and then special it.
Yeah. From what I've heard, it makes the deck pretty good, but like also I think before it comes out, it's pretty trash.
Yeah. Why is this format so shit? Do you guys agree with that? Do you guys like the format? Do you hate it?
Monarchs is the reason.
Yeah,
This format's very weird. It's very diverse, and I don't really prefer diverse formats. I like when format is where it's like 2 decks and you can just like focus on like playing those 2 decks, and you have like a little bit of side deck cards for Rogue, but there's a lot of good decks out this format, and I honestly think Monarchs is the best deck, but it just sucks that you can just brick with it, and that's why I don't feel like it's the preferred deck. Like the deck can't last like as long as the tournament runs without bricking, and
yeah,
you only
it's
need
the
brick
strongest
twice in
deck.
a match to lose.
It's the strongest deck if it works, but like it's statistically stupid to choose a deck that like breaks 20% of the time or something like that if you want to go through 10 rounds in top cut. It's just like at some point you're just gonna break. You cannot do anything about it, even though you have the strongest deck in your hands. There's no point if you just can't play.
I think Monarchs
that's
are a
like
very good deck to top with, but not really rely on going far with like winning an event, especially with nationals. People want to go to Euros, go to Worlds, sorry. So, you know.
Yeah, but it's also one of the problems why the format is so weird, because like you yourself, you cannot play Monarchs because you know it's bad statistically, but you're still gonna play against people who have it, and if they don't break, you can be the best player in the world. If you lose die roll and they don't break, you're just gonna lose, and that's one of the reasons why the format is so weird. It also has some very stupid cards where if one player opens them, like Demise or Terror Top or Tour Guide or stuff like that, Pantheism. Like all the decks have cards that if one player opens them and the other doesn't, it's just like super unfavored for him.
Yeah, and every deck is kind of like that, where so none of the decks can actually like consistently beat each other.
Yeah.
And that I think that's why the format is just terrible. Like you can't consistently beat any of the decks, regardless of what you play, just based on how like they can't open better than you. Because if they open like the nuts of their deck, they'll probably beat you. If you open the nuts of your deck, you'll probably beat them. And there's no like unless like both of you open absurdly well, there's like almost like no middle ground. It's like there's like no room for like there's no like breathing room, and it sucks because then you also have this paradox of like demise decks and then like burning abyss. So like the hand trap ballot like the conundrum with the hand traps and mating twins and siding twins and backward removal and we had a really diverse 2014 nationals with like Sylvans, and then you had like Yurgia and Hat and decks like that.
That was also a terrible format.
Yeah, but it definitely just isn't as bad as like this one, because at least like you could kind of like some decks could beat like other decks consistently, right?
Yeah.
But this deck or this format, almost none of those decks are like that. I think the closest thing you could get is like Pendulum can kind of across the board potentially beat like open well enough to beat some of these like great hands, but like Monarch is definitely just such like it's such a crazy deck to where like it's statistically like improbable to do well, but at the same time people are still gonna play it. So
yeah.
Theory of representation. If enough Monarch players enter, a few of them are going to do well. Oh shit, we lost Alex. You still there?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. I don't think we have any further questions here. We've been on for almost an hour now, so I think this would be a pretty decent point to wrap this up at. Aaron, have you got
it's also like...
Oh, go on, Josh.
It's also like kind of weird because I'm pretty sure that if any of us had any really groundbreaking ideas for nationals, he would not want to tell. So like it's kind of a weird spot to stream a podcast. So
this is the interesting part of the format where it's like you're in between two events and it's like you don't really know how it's going to be.
But I'm pretty sure that some of the guys at the YCS did not play their first choice. It's like I know from myself that I did not play my first choice at nationals. Like a month ago. Like I thought Cosmo was good, but I don't think that it's the best choice for the event. But I still went with it because
for real.
It's like it's with that safe mindset. I was also talking to Tyree like the night before the YCS, and he was just like debating on what to play, and then in the end we just like we both said, dude, it's just like it's the YCS before nationals. Just play whatever you want to try out, or play something that is not a surprise or anything. And then I think he ended up playing some Inferno kind of stuff. So like it's just like it really shows that the real deal is nationals for the Americans.
Nice deck, Tyree.
Yeah.
I guess Aaron, do you want to have any final points, closing statements you want to throw out there?
I don't know. Just play with the deck you're comfortable with. Testing is a huge thing because like I've gone to like every YCS this year and I felt like I was just underprepared because I have 5 classes and like double majoring and I just don't have time to like study. But during the summer it's been like very laid back. I have a lot of free time. I've been practicing a lot and I feel like I know the format better than I did any of the other formats I was in class. So practicing definitely is a huge part. Finding like a group of people to test with and is also just huge.
Yeah. I mean, that's actually a kind of cool point you mentioned, like play whatever you're comfortable with. And I feel like this format, I feel like any deck can win nationals. I don't think anything out of the extraordinary is going to like win Euros or nationals, you know what I mean? It would just be a well-defined deck. Like if Burning Abyss win, it would just be a very like Timid's list card for card could like win nationals. Like that was like a month ago or something. So like we just really don't know. Like, but really quickly, I guess like you want to throw out a prediction real quick, Aaron.
Um, Honestly, I can see at least like 3 or 4 BA players just going to like getting their nationals invite, but it might win the event, but I don't think it will win the event. I still think like maybe not playing Demise Cosmos and playing regular Cosmos. Like it could just somebody could find a Monarch deck that doesn't brick apparently. Somebody at the event said Hoban had this secret list he's been saving for Nash.
I think you're muted there.
I don't know what.
Oh, we're not gonna hear about this.
Can you hear me?
Fuck our lives.
Yeah, I think I got you now. Hello?
Hello?
He's been saving for nationals. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I got you now. Oh yeah, Patrick
What?
Hoban saving is that a Monarch list or just something like really like different, like a whole new deck?
Yeah, apparently there's just a secret Monarch list. Just a
Oh.
Monarch list he's been saving for nationals. That's what I forget who said that at the Origins, but
He entered ARG actually, and the recent
format's
one
very
he like came second, or did he win that one? I think.
No, he
But
came second.
he came second, yeah,
second.
and he didn't release his deck profile because he said there was a certain card in it that he didn't want to like show. So that's interesting.
Brilliant fusion.
It's probably Spirit of the Heart.
Spirit of the Heart.
You know?
Alex, you got any predictions for what's gonna win the event?
Oh, I mean, I'm pretty sure it'll be like, realistically, it's going to be Pendulum, Monarch, Cosmo, or Burning Abyss. Like, what a surprise, right? So, you know, I mean, 'cause those are like the 4 decks. It'll be one, and I don't know. I don't know, man. That's a good question, but very, very important point. If I can do it, anybody else can. So, and I don't mean go to Worlds. I mean, like, if I can top an event with like a deck, oh yeah, anybody else can definitely do it. So, I mean, who knows, right? You know, because I have like a face only a mother can love. I'm like not even that good. Like, come on, guy. Like, let's get real here. Like, you know, just people suck, man. People are fucking ass at Yu-Gi-Oh. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Like, shout out to Patrick's, I think it was his top 64 opponent, 2013 Nationals, who didn't switch Redox to attack and attack him for game 3. Like, you know, so who knows? Like, people just suck. Who knows what'll like win at Nationals, right? So,
Did that really just happen?
yeah, it was really,
Yeah.
it was crazy. And so then Patrick just went on to win the event. And
something else like that happened at one of his ARGs he won.
Oh, really? Yeah. Who knows? I'm not here to like blast Patrick. I just think like you never really.
I mean,
know,
you still
like,
deserve to win a game like that. It's not like that. I mean,
right.
if your opponent is
Absolutely,
stupid,
Yeah. And I mean, it happens like all the time. So like, you never really know, I guess, what's gonna like really win an event, because not only like are certain cards good, certain interactions good, but at the same time, like the pilot gets taken into account too. So you know, yeah, like I could tell you, like oh man, I'm pretty sure that Monarch BA guy, because he opened like the best hand possible. I'm pretty sure he like misplayed against me. Like he had to have. I'm pretty sure I just shouldn't have. But at least like game 1 or something. Yeah, like people just mess up, man. Like I don't know. So
Yeah.
I guess in closing, that's it.
Josh, predictions, closing statement.
I find it really hard to give any advantage to any of the top decks. It's not about which deck can win. It's more about the players. Like it depends. Like if the top players choose Burning Abyss mostly, I think Burning Abyss has a better chance of winning. And if the most good players choose a Pendulum variant, then I think Pendulum is going to win. So I don't know. I don't think it depends that much on the deck. Right
Yeah.
now, because it really is like that. Everything can beat anything. It could just be Monarchs, right? I think it's stupid to bring Monarchs just statistically, but if someone has a lucky day, he's just not going to be. He just can't be stopped with Monarchs, right? That might just happen. So
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, it's just his day.
I'm gonna throw out there and say I think Burning Abyss will win just because of how consistent that deck is. It's probably not the best call. Probably lose to a few Karens here and there and Dwellers and stuff like that. But the deck's really cool, and
yeah, I like Burning.
It's the most consistent.
I think it's good for the format.
Yeah,
it's like
for a major event.
The My stuff and Monarchs are like arguable if they're good for the format. They're probably not, but like BA is like attack that. It affords like skill to play, but it's especially that card to play against. That's like what I like about it. It's like there's almost always a way to beat Burning Abyss. You just have to figure it out how to play around like Farfa and all the great effects. I enjoy that with the deck in the format.
2 years in a row. That's what I'm hoping for. All right, boys. Thanks everyone for coming out. If you joined us late on the stream, make sure to check it out on YouTube. You'll be able to see the full podcast there for your viewing pleasure. I'd like to thank my guest for joining me, Aaron Furman from second place at YCS Origins. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much to Alex for coming out here and coming top 8. And of course, Complexity Card Gaming in association with Glasgow YCS. We're really out here representing and bringing you the high quality content and competitive Yu-Gi-Oh that there is on the internet. So thanks everyone for coming out. Make sure you follow me on the social media, and yeah, check us out on YouTube after. So that's gonna be it from us. Last minute, what you want to say something? Go on.
Yeah, I want to say something. Hey, so I'm picking up my rap career again. Please check me out on SoundCloud. Bass Lolly is coming back. Hot Fire 2016 mixtape. Shout out to the card guys. Shout out to the card chaps. And Flex Dab Swag. It was a flexecution. Was good.
Oh God. Yeah.
I can't beat that outro, so I'm not gonna say anything.
So I'll legit leave Alex's SoundCloud in the YouTube description so you guys can check out his rap game. But yeah, thanks guys, and I'll see you around.